I'm not here to tell you to go vegan. I'm not going to lecture you about the environment or show you a documentary. I just want to talk to you about what actually happens to your body when most of what you eat comes from real whole plants, because the results are kind of hard to argue with. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and whole food plant-based eating is something I talk about constantly. Not because it's trendy, not because of an ideology, but because when people actually do it, they feel dramatically better. Their weight normalizes, their digestion improves, their energy goes up, they stop getting sick every 5 minutes, and the best part, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to count anything, you don't have to give up everything you love. Let me explain what I actually mean. First, what is this actually? Whole food plant-based means eating mostly food that comes from plants, mostly food that looks like it came from the ground as well. I think fruits, vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, food that hasn't been stripped of all of the nutrition that it contains and processed into a frankenfood. It doesn't automatically mean vegan. It doesn't mean you'll never eat anything else. It means plants are the foundation of the way of eating, the majority of your plate most of the time. The whole food part matters as much as the plant part, because a bag of chips is technically plant-based. An Oreo is technically plant-based, but junk is still junk. A diet of French fries and Cokes with no meat is not what we're talking about here. Whole food plant-based means actual food, not processed plant foods. The distinction matters a lot. So here's what whole food plants do for your immune system without going too into the weeds. Your immune system is heavily supported by your guts. Your gut thrives on fiber and variety. Whole plant-based foods are packed with both. The more variety of plants you eat, the more diverse your gut bacteria. So ideally, you should be aiming to eat about 30 plants in a week. You're like, how the hell am I going to eat 30 plants in a week? Easier than you think. So the more variety of plants you eat, the more diverse your gut bacteria and the better your immune system functions. Meanwhile, ultra-processed foods, even the plant-based ones, tears it down. It feeds the wrong bacteria, causing inflammation, and leaves your immune system operating on a fraction of what it could be. So the simplest immune support strategy I know is also the least exciting: eating a wide variety of whole food plants. More vegetables than you're currently eating, more legumes, more whole grains, more fruits, more herbs. That's it. No supplements required, no complicated protocol. When I see people shift to mostly whole food plant-based eating, one of the first things that they notice is that they stop getting sick as often. They recover faster when they do. Their energy levels out, and that's not a coincidence. And can we talk about weight for a second? Because this is where the whole food plant-based eating does something really interesting. You can eat more, like way more than you ever thought that you could possibly ever eat. Foods by volume, and lose weight, or reach a healthy weight, depending on what your goal is naturally, without ever counting a single calorie. And here's why. Whole food plant-based foods are naturally low in calories and high in fiber and water content, which means that they fill you up. So a whole huge, massive bowl of vegetables, beans, and whole grains is going to keep you full for hours and cost you a fraction of the calories of the same volume of processed foods. Take a Big Mac meal for McDonald's. I think the last I heard, a Big Mac meal is almost all of your daily intake of calories, and that's one meal. Good luck eating, we're just going to call it roughly 2,000 calories of fruits and vegetables and whole grains in one sitting. You can't. That is so much food to make that many calories. You just can't fucking do it. Nobody sits down to eat 6 cups of lentil soup and feels guilty. It's not how it works. You eat, you're satisfied, and you move on with your life. Compare that to processed foods, which is literally engineered to make you want more. More salt, more fat, more sugar, in combinations that your brain just can't process. And it can't resist them either. There is science behind they call it craveability factor of fast foods. You eat an entire bag of chips and you're hungry again in an hour. And I'm not talking like the little tiny Halloween ones. No, I'm talking like the 200-gram bag of chips. You eat that whole thing, you're hungry again in an hour. It's not willpower or it's not failure. It's science designed to make you eat that much. Whole plant foods do the opposite. They satisfy you. You eat enough, you stop, you're not thinking about food again for hours. Weight loss tends to normalize on its own, and when that's most of what you're eating is plants, there's no tracking required. And can I just say, you do not need to stress about protein or macros or micros or any of that bullshit. If you're eating a variety of whole plants, foods, legumes, whole grains, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, herbs, you're getting enough protein. Your body knows how to use it. People have been eating this way for thousands of years without ever using a nutrition app. The one thing to actually pay attention to, if you're going mostly plant-based, is B12. If you're cutting out animal products entirely, you might need to supplement B12. You would have to get a blood test to figure out where you're at currently, because it's not available in plant-based foods. It's only available in animal products. However, you can use nutritional yeast to increase your B12. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm a holistic nutritionist, so that's fancy stuff left up to the doctors, not to me. And the one that is important is the B12. And everything else, you don't need to worry about the numbers. Don't stress. The obsession with macros, proteins, grams is largely a fitness industry creation. Eat real foods, eat enough of it, eat variety, and you're going to be fine. No stress. So you don't have to go all in overnight. Start by adding more, not subtracting anything. Add a serving of vegetables to every meal. Make one dinner a week completely plant-based. Trading legumes a few times a week instead of once. The more whole plant foods you add, the less room there is for stuff that isn't serving you. And most people feel the difference pretty quickly. Drop a comment. Are you already eating primarily plant-based? How does this feel? Do you feel like a big bag of shit? Do you feel great? I want to know where you're starting from. Subscribe for more of this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.